video was made possible thanks to the support of assetprotection.au, supporting security professionals achieve more with the Aritech range of products.
Let's be honest, choosing the right door controller for a job can sometimes be a headache. You've got new builds, you've got retrofits, different readers, all kinds of different site requirements. Well, today, we're going to make it simple. We are going to break down the key Aritech and Tecom controllers so that by the end of this, you'll know exactly which one to grab no matter what the scenario is. So, let's get into it.
First up, we'll cover what an intelligent controller actually is, just to make sure we're all on the same page. Then, we'll meet the powerhouse for all your new builds, the specialist for those tricky retrofits, and a super handy tool for expansion. And then we'll wrap it all up with the simple guide to making the right choice every single time.
So before we even start looking at model numbers, let's talk about what makes these controllers intelligent in the first place. You know, it's a really key concept that explains how all of them work.
Okay, so think of these controllers as the actual brains right there at the door. Unlike simpler devices, they can operate in standalone mode, and that is a huge deal. It means that if the network connection to the main panel ever goes down, the controller just keeps on running. People can still get through the doors they're supposed to, and the site stays totally secure. It's making all the decisions locally, and that's what makes it intelligent.
All right, let's talk hardware. First up is the absolute heavy hitter for any brand new installation, the TS1066.
So this is it, the modern workhorse, the TS1066. And it comes in two flavors, the standard 8-door model you see here and a smaller 4-door version. This gives you some really nice flexibility when you're planning a new site and need to get that door count just right.
Now, take a look at this number, 250,000. That's the user capacity. And the most important thing to know here is that it's standard. This isn't an upgrade. It's not some extra license you have to buy. It's what you get right out of the box. That tells you immediately that the TS1066 is built for some serious enterprise-level jobs.
So beyond that huge user capacity, a couple of other things really stand out. It's got a native IP connection, which means you can plug it straight into the network. No messing around with adapters. And just look at that protocol support. OSDB v2, Apereo, Salis. This is all about flexibility. It means you're not locked into one type of reader technology. You can mix and match to use the absolute best hardware for each door.
So, the takeaway here is pretty simple. If you're on a new site, you're starting from scratch, the TS1066 is your go-to. It's powerful, it's future-proof, and it gives you the freedom to use a whole range of modern readers. It really is the definitive powerhouse for new builds.
But, you know, new builds are only half the story, right? What about all those sites out there with older systems that need an upgrade? Well, that's a completely different challenge, and it requires a specialist tool. So let's meet the retrofit specialist.
Meet the TS1067E. Now, at first glance, it looks like a network access controller, just like the 1066, but its real genius is in its design. This thing was specifically engineered to solve one of the biggest headaches in our industry, upgrading legacy systems.
And this right here, this is the magic. This quote is the single most important thing you need to know about the TS1067E. By matching the footprint and the layout of the old TS0867 boards, it means you can literally swap out the old controller for this new one with minimal rewiring. That saves an incredible amount of time and labor on site. It's huge.
Now, looking at the specs, you'll notice two key things that are perfect for retrofits. First, the user capacity starts at 2,000, but it's expandable with a license, so the client only pays for what they actually need. Second, it has onboard weekend connections. This is a game changer because it often means you can reuse the existing readers on site, which is a massive cost saver for the customer.
So why the TS6070E? It's simple. For upgrades. It's designed to make replacing old panels fast and really cost-effective. The board layout minimizes your time on site, the weekend support saves on hardware costs, and the flexible licensing means it can scale to any site's needs. It is the smart choice for modernization, hands down.
Okay, so now we have our two main controllers. But what if you just need to add a couple of older readers to a modern system? I mean, you don't need a whole new controller for that, right? You need a specific tool for that specific job.
And here is that tool, the TS1061 Dual Wiegand Interface. Its job is simple, but absolutely essential. It lets you connect older Wiegand readers or keypads into a modern Tecom system.
So let's just break down what it does. It gives you two Wiegand reader inputs, plus a couple of relays and inputs to go with them. And you can connect it in two main ways,
either as a DGP to a main challenger panel or as a sub-LAN device directly to one of the network access controllers we just talked about, like the TS1066. It's the perfect little problem solver.
Okay, so we've covered the key players, the new build powerhouse, the retrofit specialist, and the expansion tool, so let's bring it all home and make this decision absolutely crystal clear.
It really just boils down to this simple comparison. For new installations, the TS1066 is the clear choice, giving you a massive 250,000 users standard. For legacy upgrades, the TS1067E is the perfect fit with its license-based capacity that can scale up to whatever the site needs. One's a powerhouse, the other is a specialist in easy replacement.
So look, if there's just one thing you take away from all this, it's this. For a brand new site, you start with the TS1066. For upgrading an older system, the TS1067E is the tool that's going to save you time and money. It's that simple.
And that's our tour. By knowing the specific strengths of each model, you're now totally equipped to make the right choice every time. So the only question left to ask is, which controller is going to solve your next access challenge?